here at the NMRA season opener Spring Break Shootout in Gainesville, Florida. We brought our 2024 Steeda Silver Bullet 2.0. Now, to be legal in NHRA trim, we had to add the factory seats to the car. Well, that added about 57 pounds over those lightweight core bows. We also had to put some mufflers on it. So all told, you're looking at about 67 pounds. Thankfully, Anderson Composite came through, shaved 12 pounds off the nose of this car with their brand new S650 hood. So we're gonna try and dial it in to 11.0, try to take that 11-second class win in true street. We're gonna make a test hit in the next couple minutes, so stay tuned. We just made our first test hit here at NMRA Spring Break Shootout, and I don't know what's going on, but the S650 is a complete bracket car. Went a 10.93 with a 9. Our last two full passes with this car 2 weeks ago at SGMP were a 10.93 with an 8. So its last three full passes are all within 1/1000th of a second of each other, which is wild because, like we stated earlier, we added 55 pounds to this car. It's kind of warm. We do have a tailwind, which is weird because the mile an hour went from 128 to 124. 60 foot was within 1/1000th of a second as well. So we know what we need to do. We're gonna go head out in about an hour on the True Street Cruise. It's gonna get these cars nice and hot. Come back, you can't make any changes. You can't pop the hood, you can't add air, you can't add fuel. We've got fuel in the car, we've got air, we're ready to go, but we'll run it out the back door the first pass, see what happens. Then we gotta start working on those next two passes to try to get that 11-second average. Something's not right with this bitch. Something is not right with this car right now. I don't think it's even close to an 11. I don't think it's close to a 1090. Thank you, ma'am. I'll take it. It's an 1101. Why not? Your head's on the spot in the Tremec 6-shift shooting. I think it went too fast. This is definitely a 10. It's spun a little bit on the 1-2 again. But I'm lining up way outside of the groove just so that I've got somewhat of a surface to race on because it gets so chewed up so quickly. God, being 98, 97, nothing too quick. I'll take a 97 with a 7. All right, time to do some math. First pass is 11:01 with a 4. Second pass, 10:09.77. That brings us to a 1099 with a 5.5 average. Math says we need to go 11.009 or slower. So 11.01 would be perfect. We are just trying to figure out what technique we should do. Do we tap the brakes? Do we deep stage it? Do I just let off the gas and pray? I don't know. I'm a little bit of a control freak, so I kind of like the deep stage and tap the brakes method. But if somebody's too close and we go with 22 or so, the whole average goes out the window. And of course you want to get as close to that 11.0 average as possible. I don't know. We got about 5 minutes to decide, so we'll figure it out. So we need to go 11.009 or slower, right? Seems easy, but you want to get as close to that damn 11-second average as possible. So for that to happen, I'm going to slightly stage it deeper, and I'm getting off the gas. And if it doesn't spin, then I'm actually going to tap the brakes, because it's barked the 1-2 on each pass so far. Oh my God, so it spun a little bit. We should be fine. I staged a little shallower. It kind of, you know, fighting for traction on the 1-2 again. Everything felt good. I've been in the right lane all 3 passes this weekend. I know I got to go to the other lane for one of the true street passes. Go to the other lane, and I'm looking, and I don't see the marker on the wall. It's getting dark, so I let off way before the 1,000-foot mark, realize it, stand on it, and I went way slow, but 11 average. Oh my gosh, I hope that's enough. I screwed that up. 11:35. God, I slowed it down way too much. So the first 2 passes were great. You're looking at an 11:01 and a 10.97. So after those first 2 passes, it gave us an average of a 10.9955 if you break it down. So we knew what we had to do for that 3rd and final pass. We had to go slower than 11.009. Technically, that would have given us a perfect 11.000 average. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Got way too conservative, slowed the car down too much. Been thinking about it a million times since it happened on Saturday evening. The headlights weren't on. I was trying to conserve the battery. Didn't see the markers. I was in the left lane for the first time. Regardless, got off too soon, got back on the gas, clipped the brake pedal in the process. It ended up going an 11.35, giving us an 11.11 average, which would typically be good, but you gotta remember, in True Street, you got a lot of bracket racers. These guys have their car dialed in. They can make it go 11.0 in any sort of condition whatsoever. Ours, we really have to manipulate it, right? We can't tune the car, we can't pull timing. So everything's gonna have to be with how we stage the car, how long we stay in the throttle, and if we tap the brakes at the end. Unfortunately, me, the driver, I didn't do my job in that 3rd and final pass, and it resulted in what you see. But the car, on the other hand, it did everything we asked it to do all day long. I know there's a lot of hate out there about these things, but when we went down there, it was warmer, we had a tailwind, and we had 55 extra pounds in this car, and it went within a thousandth of a second of what it just did SGMP 2 weeks prior. It went to 10.93 with a 9. That's absolutely unbelievable. It actually was faster to the 8th mile going 101 miles an hour, but slower going out the back door at only 124. That didn't make a lot of sense, but these cars are super consistent and an absolute blast to drive. So now that we've thought about it, or I've been thinking about it, and it's been keeping me up the last 2 nights, we went back and looked at the winner who averaged an 11.03 with a 1. What would have taken us on that third and final pass to beat that? Like I said, we had to go slower than 11.009 to get an 11-second average, right? Over the 3 passes. Well, to beat the overall winner of the 11-second bracket, we would have had to run between that 11.009 and 11.102. You're talking about 93 thousandths of a second. That would have been the window. Now, that might not seem like a lot. In drag racing, that actually isn't a lot. I mean, it's a split second, but with the cars being as consistent that they are, as the Steeda Silver Bullet being as consistent as it is, it was obtainable. Unfortunately, didn't do my job at the end of the day, but we want to be on the safe side of things, because if we averaged anywhere in the 10s, throw everything out the window. You don't get anything. So lean towards the side of caution. Unfortunately, I was too cautious, but still was able to place third in the 11-second index. And like I said, it really gave us hope with this platform again. We had a really successful outing 2 weeks ago at SGMP. Now we head down there to Gainesville for the NMRA Spring Break Shootout, sponsored by our friends over at Circle D. And you know what? The car performed. It did its job. It had us in the hunt right there until that final pass. And what can I say? We can't wait to get this 55 pounds out of the car, try a couple different things, try some different launching techniques, might try and stick another Circle D torque converter in it, but go out there and really try to push this thing how far it can get into the 10s on pump gas. One of the other things we thought about doing while we were down there was trying to enter into the brand new S650 group from NMRA. Unfortunately, you had to qualify on Friday, and with how busy we are here at work, we just weren't able to get down there on Friday. We actually head out early Saturday morning and just made a day trip out of it. It would have been fun. Unfortunately, Rebecca Starkey was the only S650 in that class, and she was rocking that new VMP/Whipple supercharger on her ride. She went a 999 in testing on Friday, and on Saturday she was running anywhere between 1020s and 1040s. So it would have been fun to line up and race another S650 out there, obviously making 800 horsepower and going 141 miles an hour through the traps. They're making a ton more power, but it would have been cool to get out there and put 2 S650s head to head on the quarter mile there in Gainesville. So hopefully we'll be heading out in the next couple weeks to do some more testing. As we'd shown in our other video, launching in second gear a couple weeks ago actually got us to 160 short time, but we were really impressed. Even with the extra weight in the car, our 3 short times were a 164, 163, and a 162. Only on the last pass where I deep staged the car, it still went a respectable 167. So it shows there's some potential there, and we can't wait to go back out, try some different things, still use pump gas, but try to see how deep in the 10s we can get this car still naturally aspirated. So huge shout out to all of our vendors. Without y'all, this wouldn't be possible. And Circle D for sponsoring the True Street class. It really is one of my favorite classes to run in. So hit like, subscribe, follow us on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. And remember the most important thing, Steeda, where speed matters.